Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the chess game. I am Sliced Lime, and today I wanted to start working on some bug fixing. Let's start with the obvious things first. The board is wrong. So when I made the board, it was meant to be played in this direction. So it's actually turned around. The lowest right-hand side corner is supposed to be a white square. But if we look at this, we have a blue square. So I think the simplest way of doing this is probably doing a clone command. I could just remake the board manually, but the board is between 0, 79, 0, and 787. So we're going to do... Wait, which direction is this? This is X. Okay, so we're going to do clone 0, 79, 0, 6, 80, 7, 1, 79, 0. Ooh, damn it. So now we've fixed everything but one row of the top layer. That should mean that if we do... what is this supposed to be? Whoa! Well, that's certainly not what I meant to do. Let's throw on a fill. And I want to be taking it from the second one. There we go. And now we can clone the entire board from 80 to 79. So that will fix the second row here as well. So now those two are the same. Oh! One bug fixed. Now, this is still not a correct starting layout. The king and queen here are the wrong way around. The queen is supposed to be here, the king is supposed to be here. So, let's have a look at the summoning commands. It should be these ones. So we'll make this 4. And this 3, ooh. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So now if we reset the game, and, whoops, pick up the white banner, and then scoreboard players, set player count, blackboard 2. We get them correctly. So now the starting layout is entirely correct, but now we have a problem because now we've broken some parts of the game logic. There's some parts over here somewhere that deal with castling, and those are hard-coded to be looking at the castling positions of the king, which is where the king started out, obviously. So what we need to do with these is this, since the distance towards the rooks have changed, this one that moved 3 needs to now move 2, and this one that moved -2 now needs to move -3. And, whoops, of course, the same goes for the second layer for the black player. So 2 there, -3 there. And then there's also this stuff here somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure where. where we detect if a castling move is possible. We just fix that too. And we're going to fix this in an editor on the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the one of these commands that checks for 2 blocks to check the other rook and the other direction. So we're just going to invert all the x coordinates. And then the same for the 3 block, we're going to invert the x coordinates and switch the rooks around. And then we have to do the same thing for the black player. So let me fix that and we'll continue in a second. Okay, and then there are a number of bugs that I've noticed while going through and making these videos that I've just spotted things that seemed odd. And one of the things is I've seen in videos of people playing this, picking up the queen's head. And now we're stuck. Why can't I put this back? Alright, yeah. So we move the king and queen around, which means we also need to update these because it's not scoring them correctly. Come on. Knight, knight, queen here. 4. King. 3. And where are those? They're up here. Reset the game. Pick this up. Play count 2. There we go. Okay. So one of the bugs I've seen when people have been playing it in other videos, which is awesome by the way, never really expected that, is you pick up the queen's head and the game somehow gets stuck. And I've experienced it once myself. And what happened then, because I was able to take a look, was the game had ended up in no state at all. So none of these fail clocks were running, which is odd to say the least. But one thing I noticed when I was doing one of these videos was, let's see if we can spot this here. That'll be kind of hard. I can grab another head, we'll see. So if I pick up the head of this rook and take a look at this line of redstone that you're supposed to run once to set the possible moves. That looked actually that looked correct. There, you saw it though. If you look at those over there, these are the command blocks run for both bishop and rook, and both of them are run for queen. So when I pick up this head, it actually blinks twice. So I don't know exactly why, but I'm guessing that it has to do with our little bug fix for where's that? Or those? No, it's not those. Here. We're clearing the white player's inventory and we're giving back an item called White Queen. So if this fill clock has the time to run once more, then I guess that could happen. So what we need to do is make sure that this fill clock is off before we perform this whole thing. So I'm kind of wondering what else is running. There doesn't really seem to be anything else, it's just these triggering twice. See if we can get both of these in frame at once. Yeah, so this fill clock is still running until both of these have executed. So Let's see, way down here is something that takes away that. No, okay, What does take away that? Here, okay, these will remove that block. So one thing we could do is we could move all of these to be on a delay. And that should probably fix that. Now you'll notice this, because now it will take away the repeater I'm holding. So you'd clearly see they're still blinking twice. What? Let's try resetting the game entirely. I don't know if something's gotten messed up along the way. I gotta give myself a trapdoor to see if it's actually clearing my inventory. And it is. What is going on? Okay. Let me keep looking at this for a while and I'll get back to you. Wait, what? So, while debugging this thing, I actually caught this on camera without really noticing myself. So, this is the state, this is the other bug, where the game has stopped functioning completely. I picked up the Queen helmet and I put it back right away, and the state we've ended up in is that none of the fill clocks are running. The game is completely dead. So I'm wondering if it has to do with picking it up and placing it back in quick succession, and that it's not keeping up. I guess I might have made that worse with this now. So you pick it up, you place it back. That means we run all of these things. It takes at least a tick. That sets all of these and then starts this. That figures out if you have a skull. Which you will. So what if these happen to run in between the clear and the setting of this? That should pretty much guarantee that this happens. So if I do this, I should now have a full, like 100% reproducible case. This, yes. Okay, so that's probably what happens. We pick this up, and then from some random chance, between the clear and the replace item, this clock gets started and detects that we're not holding a thing. Cat wants food and is being annoying, so I'll be right back. Alright, let's continue. So that's a pretty game-breaking bug, but the good news is that that should be quite easy to fix. I've put these back at 1 tick delay, 2 tick delays. So the thing we should need to do is, all we need to do is we need to delay this set block command. So we'll place that there. Ah, damn it. That's the same as this set block command. Learn to control middle click. So if we delay this, which also, also means we need to delay this. Oh, the coordinates are... That's going to be a problem. We'll switch those two. Now we have the set block on this side, which means we can fit a repeater in. Put it on max. This can be min. That should mean that we are now waiting for ticks before we start the fill clock that detects whether you're still holding the skull, which means there should be plenty of time to do the replacement first. So the bug happened before when I was quick in placing it back. I can still get it to happen by spamming clicks. Let me take a quick look at the video and see what actually happened. Okay, so as far as I can tell, when I was spam clicking this thing, I managed to pick up the White Queen, this helmet, when I had both of these redstone, the fill clocks running. So I guess that may have triggered this. Okay, so I think I figured this out. Set block will fail if the block that is already there is already that block. That makes no sense either. I was thinking the clock was already running the set block, but that would mean that it was already running and it wouldn't stop unless this block was removed. And it can't have been removed. This has never run. So it has no output. Otherwise it would say 7 blocks filled like this one does. So this one has been placed and never run. Why would it not set a block here? So here's an interesting thing. There's this moment here when I place that back where both the fill clocks are running at once. And that seems scary to me. So this would place... What is it that reactivates that clock? That would be this one. Clear. Okay. So what we could do is we could add a command to this. That's interesting. Remove is not actually a valid option. We could do that so that we instantly turn that clock off. Okay, it's not actually the one we wanted. We wanted to kill this block. Yeah, we did kill this sign. Come on. This block right here is 30 minus 32, 75, 29. Yep, so that's the one we want to kill. The other one would already be air. Here. Start that. Pick this up. Put it back. That is looking better. Can I still bug it out? I can. Of course, and this now says block placed. This doesn't have its block. I'm gonna have to do some more debugging on this. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that I've fixed this bug now. And the cause was that when we were switching between these fill clocks, there was a bunch of stuff going on, and there's some command blocks being executed and some delays happening. So there's a command that removes this block, and then there's a command that adds this block in and sets this redstone block. But if something was delayed, then there could be a delay, and then something would remove this block to stop this clock, and that would be happening. That will be like in this delay. So something managed to set this clock, set this block, set a redstone block here, and then this got removed. So what I've done to fix that is I have, after this delay that I've added, we run both the setting of the command block and the setting of the redstone block. So let me show you how I debugged this. What I've done is actually add a whole bunch of say commands. So the repro case for this was to spam clicking up and clicking this to pick it up and put it back down. So if I do that now, we'll get the chat log spammed with stuff going on. And that way you can actually see what the order were of things happening. So we should probably get rid of all of those now. And then we need to replicate this to the black side. And I've sat around clicking for quite a while on those, both king and queen, to make sure that it doesn't happen anymore. There's this as well. Should be some more. This and one here. Think that might have been all. Nope. White mofo. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right. So now let's get this replicated to the king side. King side, the black side. This is a bit tricky, because there's not enough space here to really see what I'm doing. This block needs to be moved. This block needs to be moved. And we need a delay. Delay, block. Oh yeah, that's not strictly needed now, and we want the command block placement there. No. And the redstone block placement there. And then control click to get those two. And we're gonna have to move them. How do we do this? Oops. So take this block, move it over there. I think that should be fine. Delay, block, no, block. These are in the way. Let's do this. Command block placement, redstone block placement. Alright. One less bug in the game. So the next thing I wanted to try out was to see if there's any way that we can prevent a player from tampering with the game when it's not their turn. So, white making move. What I'm thinking is maybe we can put the white player in spectator mode when it's not their turn, and then put them back into creative when it's their move. So, game mode, team equals white. Oh, that's a bit of a mess. So this repeaters will make these commands only execute once, despite this being a fill clock, because the repeaters will just stay on as long as the fill clock is on, and then they will turn off. So it's a way of just making it happen when the game switches over to it being the white player's turn. Game mode, spectator, a team equals black. And then obviously we'll need to switch this around. So grab both of those, go down here, repeater, repeater, lock, lock, switch the teams out. Black. How do I test this? I guess if I game mode spectator. So if I start out being a spectator, then I should now come into creative. Yeah, okay. I guess if you have actual spectators as well, if you have more people in the map than just the players, then we should set all of them to spectator as well, but let's just go with this for now. So I thought I was done with this, but it turns out that of course I'm not. There are more bugs. So what I've done now is I've added a new scoreboard called test mode so that I can play both sides at once. There's some logic over here. That will pretty much shuffle the player from team to team if test mode is set for the player. So let me show you some other bugs I've found. Here's one problem. I get the white pawn and I'm supposed to place it on one of these, but it turns out I can also pick the heads of these up, which I'm not supposed to, and now if I place my skull back, something goes wrong and this guy's left without a head and the game goes out of state. It freezes here. So there are no clocks running anymore and something goes wrong. So I don't know why that happens. Oh, and I also changed this out to look a bit nicer. So if we start that over, you I don't know exactly why that happens. I can pick these up and then place it back, and it won't happen. It will keep working as intended. But as soon as I do the same thing with an enemy piece skull, both of these look like they're active at once, and then they both burn out. So I'm going to need to figure out why that happens. And then I saw some other minor problems. How can I illustrate this? So en passant is supposed to be where this guy that I just moved can be stricken by another pawn on this square, but apparently moving anything there will strike that pawn. So that's another problem to take care of. That should be much easier to fix than this other problem. So I'll need to keep debugging this, and I'll get back to you in a bit. So I'm back. I figured out what was going on and why that was causing such a big problem. If you look at these white move tests, they determine the selected piece by checking for a selectable armor stand that has no skull. So it doesn't actually restrict it to the active team. So what happened was it immediately thought it had a new selected piece, and then got into a wrong state. Anyway, the proper fix is to make sure you can't pick up the skulls, so I've done that. And then I actually introduced another bug with these spectator mode fixes. So what I've done now is this one that sets the active player to be in creative mode. I've added this m=3, which is only switch when the player is in spectator mode, and I've put it back off. That'll delay so this is running all the time. Because what happened was when we were testing this, Lithania was playing against the disconnected, and then she missed being put back into the creative mode. So when she rejoined, she was still in spectator mode and couldn't make her move. So that's another fix. And then actually a quite big problem was that you still get the hang if you're quick enough making your move after the opponent made his move or her move. And what was causing that was that these delayed commands here were resetting the selected piece. So if you were quick enough to pick up and get a selected piece before this would trigger, it would reset the other player's selected piece. So what I've done is simply delay this block one tick longer, and this is the one that starts the fail clock for the new players. You can't actually get a selected piece before this reset has all run. So that sort of slightly delays the beginning of a new move a little bit. So I think that's going to be it for today. I want to end up with some ideas of what I'll be doing in the future. I'll also package this map up, cover this back up, and release a bug-fixed version. So if you want to play it, this will be the one that you should play. But coming up, we're going to implement check, so detect when somebody's in check. Checkmate will have to wait for a bit, but I do have some ideas on it. We might try that at some point. There's also the problem that you might misclick and you punch out one of the game pieces like this, and then you break the game. So I want to be able to sort of see if I can fix that somehow, spawn these back in where they were. I also have some ideas of making an ability to undo your last move. Because sometimes if I stand at this angle and sort of click here, I place it probably on the wrong one that I didn't really want to. So it would be nice to be able to I could have tested it like that. Now I'm in spectator mode. That's great. So I want to be able to undo my last move. But yeah, that's going to do it for this time, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.